Claire arrived at dusk.
Shadows stretched long, twisting familiar shapes into menacing phantoms. The house, a Victorian mansion with peeling paint, loomed large at the end of the gravel driveway. As she unpacked boxes, a figure emerged from the mist-shrouded lawn next door. He was tall and thin, with stooped shoulders and eyes that glinted in the fading light.
"Welcome," he croaked, his gaze lingering on Claire a moment too long. "You'll find this neighborhood quiet."
Quiet is exactly what I'm looking for.
But even as she spoke, a shiver danced down her spine. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it the faint scent of decay. The neighborhood, Hemlock Grove, lived up to its name, a place of towering trees and perpetual twilight. The houses, mostly Victorian mansions like Claire's, stood shrouded in silence. Few residents ventured outside, and those who did cast wary glances in her direction. One afternoon, while exploring the attic, Claire stumbled upon a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards. Inside, nestled in a bed of velvet, lay a tarnished silver key. It was heavy in her hand, cold to the touch. Attached to the key, a scrap of paper, its edges browned with age, bore a single chilling word scrawled in faded ink: "Beware."
The discovery sent a shiver down Claire's spine.
The house, already steeped in an unsettling atmosphere, felt suddenly oppressive, suffocating. That night as she lay in bed, she heard it for the first time. A faint scratching sound coming from the wall that separated her house from Mr. Grayson's. It was a rhythmic sound, like claws scraping against wood. The scratching continued each night, growing louder, more insistent. Sleep became impossible. Claire's dreams filled with unsettling images, whispering voices, shadowy figures, and the glint of malevolent eyes. She tried to rationalize the sound, telling herself it was just mice or squirrels in the walls. But deep down, a primal fear whispered a different truth. Driven by a mixture of fear and morbid curiosity, Claire decided to confront Mr. Grayson. She found him tending his garden, his back to her.
"Mr. Grayson," she called out hesitantly.
He turned, his face expressionless. Before she could speak, he held up a hand, silencing her.
"The walls whisper secrets," he said, his voice barely a murmur. "Some secrets are best left buried."
And with that, he turned and walked back towards his house, disappearing into the shadows. That night, the scratching reached a fever pitch. It was unbearable. Claire grabbed a heavy bookend, her heart pounding in her chest, and crept towards the wall. The scratching stopped. Holding her breath, she pressed her ear against the cold plaster. Silence. Then a whisper, so faint she almost missed it.
"Behind you!"
The following morning, Claire was gone. The police searched the house, the garden, the surrounding woods. They found no sign of a struggle, no forced entry, no trace of the young woman. The residents of Hemlock Grove offered no information, their secrets safe behind closed doors. Weeks turned into months, and the mystery remained unsolved. Then, one crisp autumn day, a moving van pulled up outside. A young couple emerged, filled with hope and excitement. The young man stumbled upon a hidden compartment in the attic. Inside lay a tarnished silver key. Attached to the key, a scrap of paper bore a single word: "Beware."
The man chuckled, unaware of the darkness that awaited them.
He slipped the key into his pocket, a shiver dancing down his spine as a cold wind swept through the attic.